Verse 1 of famine came upon the land different from the one that occurred during Abraham's time. So Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines in Gerar. Verse 2, the Lord appeared to Isaac and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Stay in the land that I show you." Verse 3, live here as a foreigner, and I will be with you and bless you. I will give all these lands to you and your descendants. I will fulfill the promise I made to your father Abraham. Verse 4, I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky. I will give them all these lands, and through your offspring, all the nations of the earth will be blessed. Verse 5, this is because Abraham listened to my voice and kept my instructions, commandments, statutes, and laws. Verse 6, so Isaac settled in Gerar. Verse 7, when the men of that place asked about his wife, he said, "She is my sister." He was afraid to say, "She is my wife," thinking, they might kill me to take Rebekah, because she is very beautiful. Verse 8, after he had been there a long time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out through a window and saw Isaac caressing Rebekah. Verse 9, Abimelech summoned Isaac and said, "She is clearly your wife. Why did you say she was your sister?" Isaac replied, "I thought I might die because of her." Verse 10, then Abimelech said, "What have you done to us? One of the men could have slept with your wife, and you would have made us guilty." Verse 11, so Abimelech gave orders to all the people, "Anyone who touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death." Verse 12, Isaac planted crops in that land and reaped 100-fold that same year, because the Lord blessed him. Verse 13, he became rich, and his wealth continued to grow until he was very prosperous. Verse 14, he owned large flocks, herds, and many servants. This made the Philistines jealous of him. Verse 15, so they stopped up all the wells that Abraham as servants had dug during his lifetime, filling them with dirt. Verse 16, then Abimelech said to Isaac, "Move away from us. You have become too powerful for us." Verse 17, so Isaac left and camped in the valley of Gerar, where he settled. Verse 18, he reopened the wells that had been dug in the days of his father Abraham, which the Philistines had filled after Abraham's death. He gave them the same names his father had given them. Verse 19, Isaac's servants dug in the valley and discovered a spring of fresh water. Verse 20, but the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, "The water is ours." So Isaac named the well Esek, which means dispute, because they argued over it. Verse 21, then they dug another well, but there was another dispute over that one as well, so he named it Sitnah, which means opposition. Verse 22, he moved on and dug a third well, and this time there was no argument. So he named it Rehoboth, which means room, saying, "Now the Lord has given us space, and we will flourish in the land." Verse 23, from there, Isaac went up to Beersheba. Verse 24, that night the Lord appeared to him and said, "I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will bless you and multiply your descendants for the sake of my servant Abraham." Verse 25, Isaac built an altar there and called on the name of the Lord. He pitched his tent, and his servants dug a well. Verse 26, later, Abimelech came to him from Gerar with his advisor Ahuzzath and his army commander Phicol. Verse 27, Isaac asked them, "Why have you come to me, since you were hostile and sent me away?" Verse 28, they answered, "We clearly see that the Lord is with you. So we thought, let's make a peace treaty between us." Verse 29, swear that you will not harm us, just as we have never harmed you. We treated you well and sent you away peacefully. Now you are clearly blessed by the Lord. Verse 30, so Isaac prepared a feast for them, and they ate and drank. Verse 31, early the next morning, they swore an oath to each other. Then Isaac sent them on their way peacefully, and they left him in peace. Verse 32, that same day, Isaac's servants came and told him about the well they had dug. "We've found water," they said. Verse 33, so he called it Sheba, which means oath, and to this day the name of the city is Beersheba. Verse 34, when Esau was 40 years old, he married Judith, daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Basemath, daughter of Elon the Hittite. Verse 35, they were a source of grief to Isaac and Rebekah. Welcome to the Bible in a year. In Genesis chapter 26, we see Isaac sow and reap a 100% increase. That's a great word for 2025, isn't it? 100% increase in your territory, 100% increase in your blessings, 100% increase in your harvest. That's what we're going to talk about today. But let's go back to the beginning of this passage because there's some important backstory here. In Genesis 26 verse 1, it says that there was a famine in the land, but the Lord said to his servant Isaac, "Do not go down into Egypt. Stay in the land that I shall show you." And so he went there, and he stayed there. Now, the first thing we need to know is that God told Isaac not to go down into Egypt. Why is that important? Because if you remember back in Genesis 12 verse 10, God had made a similar promise to Abraham. He said, "Look on the face of the earth that I am going to give you and to your offspring after you. Your offspring will be strangers in a foreign land, and they will be enslaved and oppressed for 400 years. But I will judge the nation to whom they will be a servant, and afterward they shall come out with great substance." So when Isaac went to Egypt, that would have been like him going into the land promised to Abraham, which was also the land promised to his offspring. And Isaac might have thought God made a mistake. He meant for me to go into Egypt, but no, God said, "No, do not go into Egypt. Stay in the land that I'm going to show you," that shows us something really important. The promises of God don't always line up with our circumstances. So many times when things look bad, we feel like we should go and do something else. We should change our strategy. We should change our plan. We should move somewhere else because things are too hard here. When actually God is saying, "No, stay right where you are, and I'm going to show you what to do." So often God will change our circumstances, not by changing our location, but by changing our perspective. Isaac didn't just obey God by staying in the land. He also sowed seed in that land, and he reaped an increase of 100%. Let's read it together in Genesis 26 and 12. Then Isaac sowed in that land, and he received that year an increase of 100. For the first he sowed, he garnered an increase of a like kind, and he was greatly blessed and became rich. And he had large flocks, so that the herdsmen who were with him, his servants, could not count the multitude of them. For the multitude of cattle and sheep were a great multitude on the earth, and there was plenty of grain in the land. Okay, before we close, let's remember this. Isaac didn't just get blessed because he was Abraham's son. No, it says here that he sowed, he planted, he put in the work. Then he received an increase. The increase wasn't automatic. The increase came when he obeyed God and he put in the work. So the principle here is this: when you plant, you will also reap. Whatever you sow, you will also harvest. If you sow spiritual seed, you'll have a spiritual harvest. If you sow natural seed, you'll have a natural harvest. Whatever you sow, you will also reap. So the question is, what are you going to plant this year? What kind of increase do you want to see? Do you want more of God's presence in your life? Do you want more of His Word in your heart? Do you want more of His voice in your spirit? Then you need to be sowing spiritual seed. And how do you do that? By spending time with Him in His Word, in prayer, in worship. But also, are you planting natural seed? Are you putting in the work? Are you being diligent in the way you manage your family, in the way you manage your finances, in the way you manage your ministry? Are you investing wisely? Are you working hard? Are you taking care of your health? These are all things that Isaac did, and therefore he saw a 100% increase in his harvest. So may that be a word to us as we start the new year. Plant good seed, pray for an increase, and watch what happens as you follow God and obey His voice. Thank you for joining us here. This is one of many devotionals that we've produced. If you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an upload. Also, we'd love to hear from you. What verse or story stood out to you? What did you learn? What's your favorite part of the Bible? Leave us a comment below.